Hello and welcome to The Trade. Let's get into some technical details now with Michael Gable from Fairmont Equities. Great to have you in studio, Michael.
Thank you.
You've been looking at the ASX 200 that's looking positive and on course to make some new highs.
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good here. So we had this period over Christmas where markets were falling, concerns around what the incoming Trump presidency will do. Concerns around inflation, obviously bond yields were heading higher. So, the markets took a bit of a breather, but when I look at the way our market is now trading, it does look like it should continue to trend higher. So one of the key things that I spotted on this daily chart was a false break, and I've circled that. So what I mean by that is the market came back to a very strong support level near 8100 towards the end of December there, and it broke under that. But what you sometimes see with technical analysis is, certain patterns fail, and actually when you see the failure of patterns, it can give you a lot of insight. So in this case, the market looked like it was breaking down. It didn't break down, it reversed and went higher straight away. So that breakdown failed, it wasn't breaking down anymore. And that tells us a lot about where the market was happy to step in and start buying again. And despite a bit of volatility over the past week, we have seen our market trend higher. So I think our market is back into that uptrend, should continue on from here to make new highs. So I think it's worth having a look at a few stocks which are still trending higher, but are presenting new buying opportunities.
Yeah, so you mentioned ResMed, upside breakout after consolidating for the past several weeks.
Yeah, so look, ResMed has been a bit, it's not the smoothest of trends, but it has been heading higher since those sell-offs that we saw towards the end of 2023. What we've noticed is the share price peaked in October and then traded sideways for a while, and the range started to tighten up. So I've indicated that with a blue line. So it's showing us that there was pretty good buying support every time it dipped near $36. As I said, the range was tightening up, and then last Friday, and that's what I've circled at the top right, it broke out of this tightening range. So it should now continue on with its uptrend. So I think this is a buying opportunity for ResMed, and I think from here you'll see it push to new highs.
All right, and taking a look at Pinnacle Investment Management, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, such a great looking chart here. So again, we've got a stock that has been trending higher. We could see that during November, December, it went up a little bit too vertically, but that blue line that I've put on the chart is the 50-day moving average, and we can see that it tends to respect that line fairly well. So it's come back to that blue line, it's bounced off it over the past few days. Again, that's basically a stock that should just continue trending higher from here, and I think the bounce off the 50-day is a buying opportunity. So again, today I think that's looking like a good buy.
And what are you seeing with Superloop?
Yep, so another sort of similar chart. So you've got, maybe a little bit messier than the previous one, but again, we've got a stock that's headed high throughout the year. We've noticed that it has formed a nice trend line there, so it tends to bounce off that pretty well, and that's what it's done so again over the past few days. So again, just another opportunity for investors if you don't want to be bottom fishing and you want to stick with momentum and stick with trends. This is another one that is still trending. It did cool off a bit across December when the broader market was cooling off, but now it's bouncing off the right levels. So another stock that I think from here should make all-time highs.
And finally, Pro Medicus, what are you seeing there?
Again, very, very similar sort of chart to P&I. Obviously, Pro Medicus is often talked about as the most expensive stock out there, and its performance has been amazing, of course. But again, we had a situation where it did overextend itself, I think, across sort of November, early December, and the two ways you can resolve that is either by selling off sharply or by just trading sideways for a while. and just consolidate that move, use up a bit of time. So what's happening in this consolidation over the past few weeks is that because Pro Medicus has run up pretty hard, you've had obviously some sellers step in, but they're equally being met by buying as well. So that's why the share price can't get pushed a lot lower than where it is. And the line here is, again, the 50-day moving average, which I think is a good sort of filter for the for PME. It's allowed that line to catch up to the price now, and again, I think that current levels look like a buying opportunity, and I think it's going to try to push to a new high again.
Great to get your insights. Thanks so much for joining us. Michael Gable from Fairmont Equities. Well, that does it for this episode of The Trade. Be sure to join us tomorrow.